Tom Barnard Show with
L.A. Nick.
Co-host Catherine Brandt.
Andy Brant Bernard.
Cassie Schrader.
We will be right back. Kick things off. Tom Barnard Show. This is a good time for Joffrey McClung to jump on with us. We do have to take a break in a couple of minutes, Joffrey, for just a couple of minutes, but then we have an entire 15-minute segment after that, if that's okay with you.
It's great with me.
Okay. And your first name is pronounced Joffrey?
You got it right, hon.
I wanted to make sure because I didn't know. Joffrey McClung, the heart of the matter. Great time for you to be on talking about the Jack in the Box ad where the guy talks about having nice bowls and people say that's making fun of sexual harassment, and I don't see how that is. But these days, well, this great book, by the way, The Heart of the Matter. These days, the world is all about us and them. Politics are polarizing society. The president uses words we punish our children for saying. We may... What, the F word? You punish your kids for saying the F word? Really?
I would.
Yeah, you got that right.
I encourage it.
We may be wary of name-calling, finger-pointing, and lies among our leaders, but Joffrey McClung says, closer to home, we're not treating one another very well. I cannot wait to talk to you about this, Joffrey, because I complain about on my morning show and this afternoon show every day. I'm getting so tired of the hatred based on nothing. What is this?
Mm-hmm. It's absolutely wacky, isn't it? People are so misbehaving. It's absolutely absurd.
It is absurd. I hate you now because you don't agree with me. Really? You hate me because I don't agree with you? Okay, well, that makes no sense. But no, the timing of your appearance on the show is wonderful because Jack in the Box is being harassed by people because he did it. Oh, yeah, you have nice bowls over that Jack in the Box. There's nothing about, did you show Lucy your bowls? That would be sexual harassment, right?
Right.
Well, it would be. It's not
bowls.
sexual. Well, Joffrey, I'm trying to figure out the world right now, Joffrey. And
Good luck.
so what we'll do is we'll take a very, very quick break, and we'll be right back with Joffrey McClung. The book is called The Heart of the Matter, and I cannot wait to get deeply into this. Perfect timing, Joffrey. We'll be right back. Tom Barnard. Something. We've somehow forgotten our common sense and lost our compassion and sense of connection to one another. Joffrey McClung, the author of The Heart of the Matter. Joffrey, I'm not going to sit back and shut up because I want to hear. Like I said, having you on is the perfect time today because I have hit the wall on all this. I hate you for no reason.
I know people are overreacting in every area of their lives. When you've walked around through life feeling victimhood or you're powerless and suddenly things are starting to shift, you overcorrect. So some of this is overcorrection. For instance, the Me Too, perhaps feeling that sexist, that Jack in the Box, that's overcorrecting. I understand it.
Yep.
They felt powerless for so long. I can forgive that. You're going to overcorrect when you're trying to change things. That makes sense. But this hatred and this calling people evil because they disagree with you. Let's look at the definition of evil people. People are not evil. Most of your neighbors are not evil. They really are not. Unless you're living next to Nazis, which most of us really are not living next to Nazis.
No.
There are not evil people around us. There are people who disagree with us. That's okay. We don't all have to agree on everything. It's common sense, people. Which is missing, by the way.
Oh, there's no common sense at all. Joffrey, I tend to be a centrist, so I don't really agree with the far left or the far right. I don't hate them, though. I don't hate either one of them.
No, I think centrist is most of us, really. Most people in the world want to meet in the middle. I might have a little more left view, you might have a little more right view, but we can always meet in the middle.
That's
At least
what
we used to be able to meet in the middle.
Yep, we did. What is it social media that caused this problem, do you think, Joffrey?
I think it just puts a big, fat spotlight on it. I think the problem's been there, and it's been growing. I think a lot of it is, of course, you can be mean without being seen. That gives cowards a great place to go.
Yep.
Because, let's face it, to say it to somebody's face takes a lot more courage, and you're not going to do that. So, yeah, I would say social media in some sense, but really, I know this is going to sound wacky, but I think a lot of it has to do with a lack of self-love. Now, why do I say that? Because people go, my God, people are narcissistic. How can you say lack of self-love? Because self-love is not narcissism. It's not egotism. Self-love is understanding that you matter, that you have value, that your power lies within, and that you're good enough. Well, I think most of us can agree those are things we all want.
Yep.
Unfortunately, most people, again, social media, are looking for it on the outside. Do I have enough likes? Am I popular? Am I getting my value through my job, through my money, the biggest house, the biggest truck? They get their value outside of themselves. Now, what's weird, Tom, is that people who are lacking, let's say, in self-worth, self-value, self-love, of course, that impacts their ability to have healthy, loving, positive relationships. But this is something I didn't know. It also helps them to see your basic benign acts, gentle, loving acts, as hostile, and therefore ends up creating enemies where there are none. I think we're seeing a lot of that today. People creating enemies where there aren't any. Interpreting acts as if they're hostile and after me when they're not. Maybe they're miscommunications. Maybe I do it different than you do, but I didn't mean any harm in it. But people are seeing that. And I really firmly believe this lack of self-love and self-awareness, understanding your impact on others, which is part of common sense, is totally lacking these days. Now, common sense, I'm big on common sense, whether I'm talking self-love or spirituality or just going to a baseball game and not yelling at the kids and having the referee have to throw you out of the game because you're a mean parent. Common sense is good judgment, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, shared common sense that we all share in our society, we share certain common sense things, is good judgment combined with the intention of making life easier and better for all concerned. That's what we're missing. We're out of that win-win mentality, and frankly, we're now in I win, therefore you have to lose mentality.
I love it. You're absolutely right, 100% right, as a matter of fact.
And when you have that, you can't have good judgment because you have anger, victimhood, powerlessness. Good judgment goes out the window. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm going on a rant here, but
we want to hear
be
it.
right is more important than compromise. Mm-hmm. Being in control is more important than shared responsibility and shared outcomes. Being judgmental and critical is more important than accepting others. I mean, win-win, it's really what good judgment is based upon. And we need to get back to that, frankly.
I don't think there's any question about that.
We all agree with you here.
We talked about this earlier. I referenced this next thing I'm about to tell you earlier. My wife and I have been together for 37 years, been married for 34 years.
Is that all?
Fabulous.
It seems like a lot longer to her, though, apparently, Joffrey. So,
women, yes. We have to take care of you guys,
Well, that's very, very true. So, I tell my wife that I love her and adore her every day, and she tells me she loves me every day. And it's not a phony thing. It's not, I forgot to tell Tom I love him. Yeah, it's not that deal. An example of that last night is, as I was going to bed, I said, "Good night, you big whiny baby," and she goes, "Good night, you loser." It's wonderful.
It's the humor. I love it.
It's wonderful to live your life like that. Your wife telling you you're a loser as you're going to bed.
I have to laugh because that's me and Nancy. That's what we do every day.
It's wonderful. And you and Dave, I'm sure, do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen you do it.
We poke fun at it. He's always making fun of me for my accent, or sometimes I just do weird things and I don't realize I'm doing it, so he's always ragging on me and making fun of it. But we do it I don't know, it's just to have humor about things.
Right.
Especially in serious, moments or something. It kind of lightens the tension.
I can always make Nancy laugh in the middle of an argument.
Oh, yeah.
Always. Guaranteed. I'll make her crack up in the middle of the argument.
I know it sounds stupid, but one of my favorite things that Dave does that will really get me in a good mood, he has this kind of feminine German accent, and he pretends to be Hitler.
A female Hitler?
No, you got it. But like if Hitler was still alive and became an 80s radio DJ had to play the top 40s, so he comes up with these obscure songs, and it's just so funny. And he does stuff like that, or he does voices, so he'll do like Homer Simpson and stuff like that. So yeah, we have a lot of fun, but we put, I'll call him a loser or something like that too.
It's a good thing. Andy, you and Melissa, are you at that stage yet? Andy has a friend that we've been together, what, couple months?
First date was May 5th.
Oh, so it's been a while now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So do you make fun of one another?
I've never really been that kind of person.
No, that's true.
You'll become one.
She tries to make me laugh a lot, but she knows how hard that is.
Trust me, you'll become one.
You will become one. Joffrey, how about you? Are you in a solid relationship?
No, not right now. I'm in between, which is okay with me right now.
Yeah, I understand that. What's interesting about that is that that's why I asked you if you were. I didn't just say, well, you're in a relationship. The reason I asked you if you were is because releasing this book while being in a relationship with someone would probably be very difficult. So it's kind of good that you aren't in a relationship right now.
Well, it does take focus when you're trying to do, as you know, being creative and then doing it and getting it published. It's like putting on a show back in the day when I was an actress. You put on a show, it takes every ounce you have. And in a weird way, even the subject matter, it was sort of important that while I was writing it, because it was about self-love and how you find it again, you sort of needed your focus to be on yourself. Rather than, and as a woman, when you're in a relationship, you tend to focus a lot on the other person. It tends to be our nature. So in a weird way, it kind of was perfect timing for me to be in between so that I could focus on myself and say, now what have I learned?
Absolutely.
So, synchronicity, people. I do believe in synchronicity.
I like that. It's a great argument, first of all. I just got a message from a listener that says, that's another book that I'll be buying. So you've sold at least one book by being on today.
It makes me feel good.
I always post links for every author we have on, so on all of our social media.
Yeah,
it's a wonderful thing. I love your attitude. I love your message. I literally do not understand why it is that people want to hate one another. It's just, I sit back and look at this. Yeah, I wish our president would shut up once in a while, but I wish our last president would have shut up once in a while, too. Matter of fact, every president I've ever seen, I wish they would have shut up once in a while,
Yeah.
People love to hate, though.
Oh, they do.
They do.
There's a power to it.
Yes, there is. And I think the reason why, especially now, you mentioned social media, Tom, it makes it travel so much faster.
Oh, yeah.
If it's hate than love. Positive things don't travel through social media fast. No. But negativity does.
Yeah,
it does.
I don't get, because I see a lot on social media because that's part of my job. I just don't get how people want to be so miserable.
I know.
They want to be
offended. People.
They're not. It's not like it's not a choice. Like bad stuff just happens. They're choosing to be this miserable.
I've cut my social media use down a lot and cut TV out. And since I have, I am way happier of a person.
Uh-huh.
I could see that. Joffrey, now you're going to have to spend a lot of time on social media. You have a new book out there, so you're going to have to get out and promote it on social media. Is that going to be really unusual for you?
No, I sort of was already into that. And what I do is I promote myself, and anybody that I see ugly stuff, I ignore it, and I block them, basically. I say I don't want to hear it.
That's what I do.
That's what I do.
I don't have time in my life for that negativity. I'm trying to add love out there and a little light. And those who are interested, they'll find it. And those who aren't, bless you. You'll have your turn whenever you have your turn.
That makes complete sense to me. It really does. So you put out this book, and the book's called The Heart of the Matter. You've got a great message. But even in that, you still say, well, I'm not going to shove it down your throat. If you want to use it, use it. And if you don't, your time will come. That's a great message to people.
Well, I believe in timing of everything, and some people are going to be in the mood to wake up and say, you know what, I need a little more self-love. I'm not talking well to myself. I'm not treating myself well. And they'll be ready. Others, they're not ready. And the cool thing about the book, Tom, is it's done in a way that you can just read the discussions, and maybe it gives you a new thought in your head. That's great. You can take it further, work with the questions. That gets you to start looking at your thinking. And if you want to go all in, you can do the meditations, and you can start to work with your emotions. So it kind of meets you where you are. I don't want to push anybody into something. I'm not onto that at all. It doesn't work either, frankly.
See, once again, Joffrey, your timing is unbelievable, because I swear to God, I'm not kidding. I woke up this morning, I got out of bed, and I said, I got to start meditating. I need to calm down. So, I mean, you're preaching to the choir here, as they say.
Oh, your life will be so great. And you know what's cool is we are given these gifts of imagination. And unfortunately, most of us use it to do the worst case scenario and imagine what's the horrible thing that's going to happen. When you can go into meditation and use your imagination to actually give love to yourself, to imagine nurturing and love and kindness and compassion and forgiveness, all those wonderful empathy, you're using your imagination for what it's really for. And meditation's and you know what meditation really is, Tom? People think it's all woo-woo-y, and you got to light candles and say a chant. You got to do this over here, all this, your legs behind your head. Baloney, baloney, baloney. All it is close your eyes, just because you don't want to be distracted. I prefer to lay down, because I like to lay down. I close my eyes and lay down, and I just look inward, meaning I just take some breaths, and I go, I'm going to use my imagination now. That's all it is. I don't have to do anything else.
It's wonderful.
That simple.
Why do you think that people are so resistant to wanting to feel better?
I think some are addicted to their negativity and their anger. Again, anger gives you a sense of power. When you have felt powerless and you can get angry about something, it gives you a jolt. It gives you that rush.
It's an adrenaline kind of thing.
Exactly. And it gives you that feeling, I'm in control now, at least I'm angry.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that's only going to last so long. Eventually, you're going to have to meet yourself. You're going to have to look in the mirror and meet yourself, and that anger is really not your friend. But your anger is a good signal to you that you've got some things to do inwardly, because if you're constantly angry, you got some things to heal. You got some beliefs to look at, people. Otherwise, you're putting all your stuff on everybody else. You're projecting everything else on everybody. And some of it's you. You got to own it. Some of it's you, not the other person, people. That referee at that ball game, you're yelling at him and having to be thrown out because you have an issue, not him.
So
talking to those parents who did that was so atrocious.
So what it sounds to me like is, okay, so America has a lot of instant gratification with the computer and all this stuff, and food and booze and drugs and everything else. And meditation doesn't give you a giant jolt like that. It's more of a calm, at least it is for me.
Well, it can, but if you start to combine, like I have different meditations in the book, you start to combine meditations where you're going in there for a specific, I'll give you an example. I went into a meditation, I was really down that day. I thought, okay, I need to do some loving for myself. And I felt like I wasn't making movement. One foot was not going in front of the other foot. So I went in and I closed my eyes and I pictured, my lovely scenery of nature, because I like nature. And then I called in these beautiful beings. I thought I got to have pretty beings, not human beings. I was mad at humanity at that day. So I called in, let's say, angels. And I called them. And all of a sudden I imagined, okay, I need some loving to know I'm doing a good job. And all of a sudden, in my imagination, they all started giving me a standing ovation. Well, I was jolted by that.
Okay.
I literally was jolted, and I came out of that meditation raring to go. So it's a matter if you're using meditation to calm yourself down through breathing, or you're using your meditation to give you a jolt. You can get that from the meditation.
It is a wonderful thing. The book is called The Heart of the Matter, Joffrey McClung, McClungJoffre, the first name. Joffrey, you need to come back. We need to talk more about this. It's a great message.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Next time I'll talk about the 4 things that 10-year-olds know better than politicians.
All right, well, we'll get you booked. I would love to hear that.
I'll reach out to you, Joffrey.
Thank you, Joffrey.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
We'll be right back. Tom Barnard Show.